Good morning, everyone, if it's morning where you are. So first, a bit of housekeeping. I'm back on the road currently, and I've headed across the country, and I'm currently in Oregon, headed to visit my teacher on Vancouver Island. I was able to upload 4 tracks of kirtan music recording onto CD Baby, which is a service that'll put it on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and other platforms for streaming. So please keep an eye out for that. It's coming out under Bhakti Yoga Monk. And the book is still underway. They're still doing the final changes on it. The Bhakti, the Art of Loving God, which is mainly just focusing on you and your love for God and the emotion between you and God and how to potentially grow that for you. Should be also out in the next 4 to 6 weeks, which will be about the same time as the music should be coming out to stream, which is, wow, just mind-blowing. But yeah, so that's super exciting. And then, so now we're ready to read the blog entry. Okay, so this is blog entry 129, 9/21 of 2024. So this blog entry, I was in Seattle and I was in Orange, and everything was still swirling so much in my meditations with Krishna and him separating the material me from the divine me and the material world from the divine world. And it was just really wild, the differences in how it was going. So I was just kind of still sitting there and just watching so much go zooming past in the material, because the material is always such a rush. You know, it's so distracting and so much going on all the time to distract us from God. And I was able to see the different layers of it and where the material touches the divine. And so here's that journal entry. I'm still here, still wearing orange, preparing to become more formal and looking for a place to practice music. The leap between cultures and worlds feels so vast today. Yet, even in the midst of such change, I notice a deep peace within me, steady and unmoving, while my mind and material ego continue trying to process and make sense of what has been happening through the great Sannyasi changes. It was really profound at the time. My mind it just couldn't handle it. There's still days that I can't really understand it with my mind, but again, my heart and my soul are so full. Even on this, when I did this journal entry, my heart and my soul was so full. It just didn't want for anything more. And my mind is going, what's going on? But it's amazing. Like when your heart and your soul gets full like that, you just know you're close to God and with Krishna and Radha, and it's just super exciting. Okay, so anyhow. I know that I have a deep natural love for God, and it has pulled me by my very heart and soul to this point in my journey. At the same time, my nature is not to take such leaps into the unknown, and this step feels like the most challenging leap of all. There are moments I grow weary of myself, of my tendency to search for ease and to slip into comfort. My material nature once made me believe these comforts were real, but they always proved false and short-lived. The material world, good with the bad, It feels like the sickness of the material mind, an old addiction of unhealthy bond to my past life tugging at me. And yet, beneath it all, there is this stillness, this quiet certainty in the heart guiding me onward into this new life of teaching about Krishna. And how Krishna he brings me everything I need. Now, so if I need like $10, Krishna will bring like 20. He won't bring like $1 million, so I don't ever have to think about it ever again. Because it's a constant growing in faith and growing in trust. And it's that ever-growing relationship of just being with Krishna and trusting Krishna and flowing with it more. But these initial days where these blogs are from are really quite challenging, because your mind is just reeling and it doesn't know how anything is possible, how anything could ever work out. And it's crazy for doing it. But as the mind was reeling, Krishna was holding the emotions steady inside of me, so I wasn't able to actually freak out or feel the emotion created by those thoughts spinning in my mind. And he still blocks it even to this day a lot, which is really amazing. And it's not as bad now as it was in the beginning, for sure. And I'm getting better with the ebb and flow of it, with Krishna bringing me what I need when the time comes that I need it, and trying to do what pleases Krishna the most, because it's still challenging. It's not challenging in the same way as when I was full material and just doing the material life while wandering spiritually. This is challenging in a way where Krishna nudges me to do things that make me uncomfortable, to go further into what he wants done and to what I'm meant to be doing. And those challenges can be quite strong, just like putting more and more information out there. Like recently, 6 months ago, the idea of a book, much less a music album, out would freak me out, and I just wouldn't go anywhere near it. But now, that thought could still loom in there, but I don't feel it. Krishna blocks it, and he keeps the moods and the emotions and all steady, and it's amazing. But it's definitely an ever-growing process and a continuing journey, growing closer to Krishna and trying to do the best I can, and as I grow, do it better, So it's really interesting like that. It always seems like when you're on one side of the fence or the other side of the fence, the other side always seems greener. But the reality of it is, challenge comes for us to grow. It either comes while we're in the material, and the material world is smacking us around, bringing good with the bad and whatever. Or if we go full into relationship with Radha and Krishna, it comes through surrender and trust. And trusting Krishna, and then doing what we're meant to be doing for Krishna. Like when he comes and he says, I want you to do this thing, and it's something that's just really hard for you as a person because of your past lives or what you had happen in this life, you still have to push through that and persevere as much as you can. And so there's always challenge for growth, It's a different type of growth because it's all forward moving because you're with Krishna. And it benefits you in much more ways than just getting smacked around by the material, because you're accruing karma and you're just going to be more stuck with it. But so it's better in a lot of ways, but it's still the challenge to grow. And it's really interesting. And that's just a huge part of existence. Yeah, being challenged to grow. Wow. All right, well, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe.